Welcome back to the Jar of Pain podcast. My name is Matt. You will notice Ben is not here today and things look a little bit different. And that's because Ben is sick and I don't want to get sick and I want him to get better as fast as possible because being sick sucks. So here I am. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm doing Jar of Pain by myself. This is a fun challenge for me. So happy Tuesday, Jar of Pain babies. I don't know what the episode is going to be like yet, but I'm doing the intro right now because we're throwing caution to the wind. Caution to the wind. And I'm just trying it out. Jar of Pain actually started as a solo endeavor until I quickly realized I needed another person. So this might be a good reminder that I need another person. But I say we just jump right into it. I've got the jar. You can see it. Yeah, you're going to see me checking that a lot. I've got the jar, and we'll just rip. We'll just start ripping. First question. When will we see you do improv again? Thank you, question asker. Of course, you can ask a question yourself at jarpain.com. It's free and it's easy. Tell your friends about the show. To tell the truth, I don't know. Although we only did shows every 3 months, they were a lot of work for promoting and selling tickets and getting people to come out. Obviously, we want people to come to shows. Makes it more fun for us. Frankly, makes it more fun for you when you got a packed house of laughter out there. I think the laughter is contagious. Someone maybe once said that infamously, or it was me right now. Laughter is contagious. So I don't know. We are thinking about a show. We're planning a show right now, hopefully for fall. I don't know how that will go. It's shaping up to be really cool. It'll be somewhat improv, somewhat written content. But yeah, you can't keep me off a stage very long. I have a personality that needs attention and validation at all times. I'm working on it. But I love being on stage. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Unfortunately, I've just been on stage so many times that I take the stage. There's a responsibility I have. This is how I feel. I take it very seriously. I want it to be great because I think you have a responsibility to put your best foot forward when people are coming to see you do something. So we're not just going to whip something up. It has to be great. Maybe it doesn't, but that's the standard that I put on myself, which is a sickness. Frankly, it's a sickness. But yeah, you'll see us soon. We'll definitely be back. And you can catch Ben on stage doing comedy multiple nights of the week in Eau Claire. He does the Plus down on Tuesdays. He does Growler Guys on Fridays. He does shows a couple times a month. You can check out his social media. It's just at Ben Malachowski, I think, or Malachowski. Actually, it's Malachowski. Anyways, soon. The answer to that question is soon. Let's keep her moving right along. I'm actually stealing Ben's technique. I'm going to have several questions here loaded up. All right, question number 2. Would you rather be broken up with or be the person who breaks up? Fantastic question. Romance. Romance never fails to be a juicy topic to sink your teeth into. Personally, I have done both. They both suck. That's just the reality. When you're being broken up with, it feels like you're not good enough. It feels like you could have done better, which is probably a lie to yourself. Sometimes people just aren't going to work out. Sometimes something bad happened, like you were cheated on, and that sucks too. When you're breaking up with someone, it's negativity in the opposite direction because you feel like you're letting them down. You're making someone you care about. Truly, if you're in a relationship with somebody, even if you're like, this isn't going to work, you probably still care about them and want them to have a good life. I think unless you're a psychopath, that's the way we feel. Now, there are interesting scenarios where, you never want to see somebody again, but, they both suck. Hurting someone you care about sucks. Getting hurt by somebody you care about sucks. Relationships are hard. We all know that. What would I rather, though? That was the question, right? Would I rather be broken up with? I don't know. Truthfully, neither. I've kind of enjoyed being alone and getting used to being on my own. And it's unfortunately kind of addicting because it's really easy to be selfish and that's a comfortable place to be, especially if you're comfortable being alone. and to only worry about yourself. And that's not always the best way to do things, but it does work, and it's survival at the same time. I think I'd rather break up with somebody. Me do it. It's a tough conversation, but I don't have to feel like I'm not good enough for that temporary time after a breakup where you're like, God, I'm the worst, huh? I don't know. I think I'd rather break up with somebody. Thank you for the question. You guys are just getting Matt's thoughts straight down center right now. It's crazy. I've never talked this much, I feel. When I'm alone, if I don't see anybody, I'll go days without talking because I live alone. That's a crazy thing to think about, but it's just what it is. Fuck, marry, kill. Ben's pants, Matt's shirt, or Ben's shoes. Fuck, marry, kill. Ben's pants, Matt's shirt, Ben's shoes. Ben's not here, so I don't know what kind of pants he's wearing, if at all. And I doubt he's wearing shoes if he's inside sick. That seems like a really bold move to like wear shoes while you're sick and hanging out indoors. I think most people take off. They have outdoor pants and indoor pants. And so I bet he's wearing joggers. Those are nice. I think I have to marry my shirt. And it's a logistical issue. Ben's pants won't fit me. And I like having my own shoes, not somebody else's. It feels weird to put on somebody else's shoes, especially when they're warm. Like sometimes if I'm at a cabin, I'll pop on my brother's sandals quickly. And like you can still feel the warmth of their feet in them. Like if I'm just going outside to check the grill or something like that, and his shoes are right there. So I would fuck Ben's shoes. I would marry my shirt, and I would kill Ben's pants. Sorry, Ben, no more pants. On to the next. What would you say to your most toxic ex if there were no consequences, including guilt? I guess I'm in a fortunate position where I don't really have a toxic ex. I've remained friends with the people I've been in relationships with. I mean, friends is a loose term. Acquaintances. I'm not like hanging out with them and their new partners, though I could. Certainly I could. It's not always the most comfortable thing in the world, but like, what would you say to your most toxic ex? I don't really have a toxic ex. I have ex-toxic friends, so maybe that's more in line with the way I'm thinking, but I don't want to talk to them ever again. They're out of my life for a reason. You let people go for a reason. So I'm not looking to invite that energy back in. Even if they've changed, that's fine. I hope some of them have. I hope all of them have for the better, but I'm not looking. I don't want to add more complication to my life. In my serene 30s, I'm not looking to add toxicity. And I feel like if you like reach out to have a final word, it just invites toxicity. So I would say nothing. That's what I would. I'm sorry. Whoever wrote this has a toxic ex. You go off, queen or king. Do what you got to do. But for me, I ain't saying anything. And I can unfortunately cut somebody out very fast, and it doesn't. I can just never speak to them again. So, wow, this feels like therapy. When you're alone, it feels like therapy. Feels less entertaining. What chain restaurant has the best burger? Love this question. I haven't had a burger at every chain restaurant. I can tell you some that are bad right away. And I'm not going to do fast food because Culver's is obviously the winner of that. I've had In-N-Out. I've had Whataburger. Culver's wins, hands down. Easy. But when we're talking TGI Fridays, when we're talking the Bees, your neighborhood bar and grill, when we're talking Chili's, I had a great steak at Chili's once. One of the best steaks of my life. I can't believe I'm even saying that. But I was with my dad in Madison. We stopped at Chili's for a steak. Random story. But I liked Chili's steak is good. I'm going to say Applebee's has a great burger. Last time, it's been years since I've had a burger from Applebee's, but the ground beef felt good, felt fresh, felt tasty, or tasted tasty. So I'm going to go Applebee's. Red Robin, get out of here. Red Robin, gross. The free fries are great. The unlimited fries are great if you're on a budget, but the burger's not great. So I have to go Applebee's. I'm ripping through questions. There's no dialogue here. If you were going on a trip and could only bring one book, what book would you bring on your adventure? Easy. Bible. No. It depends how long the trip is. And you can't really bring a huge book because you're traveling. I think Of Mice and Men is a great book. I think Slaughterhouse-Five is a great book. Books that you can read multiple times and glean different types of info from them. Catcher in the Rye is a great book for an adventure. You can really relate to that character. I really relate to that character, as do most psychopaths. Whatever that says about me, I don't know, but that's a figure. People who like psychopathic like Catcher in the Rye. I think Catcher in the Rye really does really well with interior thoughts and observation on the world as a person. I think that's why I like it, because I look at the world slightly differently. At one point in Catcher in the Rye, the protagonist gets a prostitute just to talk. That feels like big me energy. Like, I don't want to have sex. I just got to get this thing off my brain. I think I'm going to go Catcher in the Rye. Catcher in the Rye for sure. If packing isn't an issue, Infinite Jest, because that's like the biggest book of all time. And you'll always have something to read. But I'm going to go Catcher in the Rye on that one. I think that's a great question. Next question. What is an appropriate age gap in dating? This feels like a hotly debated subject. There's multiple levels to this answer. Off the top of my head, I think a great guide for if someone is too young for you is Half Your Age Plus 7. There's some movie that says that. Half Your Age Plus 7 is a great... What am I now? 35? 34? I'm 33. I do this... I forget how old I am because I tend to just start claiming the next year early to get used to it. And so I've been saying I'm 34 probably for a year now, but I think I turned 34 in June. So I'm 33 now. Half my age. So half of 33 is, let's call it 17 plus 7, 24. That feels about right for me. Some, for a partner, like they have to have a little life lived. I don't understand these. Frankly, it's gross when these older guys date like 20-year-olds. Maybe it works for them. I don't know what that person's history is. I hate to judge anybody. But God, man, you look at these, as you get older, people who are younger look younger and younger. So like if I'm out at a concert and there's like 18 and 19, 20-year-olds there at the concert or like at a music festival, they look like children to me. I can't or a 21-year-old with a beer at a bar and you're like, how did you get that? Do you have a great fake ID? Because you look like a child. You're just past bottle face, for God's sake. Half your age plus 7. But I think as you get older, the gaps don't matter as much. The difference between a 30-year-old and a 20-year-old is very stark, but the difference between a 55-year-old and a 45-year-old, you're kind of in the same zone. You're playing the same cards, So I think at that age, find love, baby. Find love. So yeah, as you get older, the age gap means less, I think. But yeah, half your age plus 7. Good standard to live by. Next question. What makes a person safe? Well, that's a great question. I don't know what makes a person safe, but there is a feeling you get sometimes with people where you're either, this person makes me feel not safe or this person makes me feel safe. I think calm and readiness, like someone who is smart, like intelligence helps to a certain extent. Like if shit goes down, I want someone to lead a little bit. Sometimes I end up being the leader because no one else takes it upon themselves. But someone who can make decisions quickly in the best interest of the group, someone who makes you feel heard, that's a safe person. Someone who, sometimes you can tell when people are being nice as a manipulation tactic. I don't like that. That doesn't make me feel safe at all. There's lots of safe people, lots of unsafe people. But I mean, generally, the rule of thumb with people, there's good people who do bad things and bad people who do good things. And we're all a mix. And we all have the capacity for either. And we also have the ability to grow and change. So I don't know. That's great. What do you think? Maybe comment below What do you think makes somebody safe? Look at me, Mr. YouTuber. Comment below. My gosh, I'm starting to get it. Where would you most like to go that you haven't visited? That's a fun question. I used to travel a lot. A little bit about me. I used to travel all the time, all over this here US of A. I was a really cool guy in my 20s, and I sang in a band, and we toured around pretty much full time for like 5 years. So I've been everywhere pretty much, except the Pacific Northwest. That's one place I have not been. Mountains make it tough to travel there. Not a lot of town. The big cities are far apart. East Coast, I've been everywhere. Towns are 2 hours away, hour away, another major area. Where would you most like to go that you haven't visited? I think Dubai would be sick. I really like the shit they're doing over there. I shouldn't say that so loosely because they could be doing terrible stuff, but I think it looks cool. Thailand really intrigues me. I just watched White Lotus season 3. I don't like murder or guns, but Thailand looks interesting. I'm more intrigued by places that are different than where I live. You know, Europe has never intrigued me as much as like India. India really intrigues me. I feel like I would hate it, but I kind of want that experience of not liking a place. I think that would be because it's so different than here. I think it's probably so overstimulating. So many new smells and colors and experiences and sights. Thailand, India, would love that. China, I'd always want to go to China or Japan. Japan really intrigues me too. Anything like East. I like things in the East. That intrigues me more than the West because the West is where I grew up. Of course, I'd love to go to London someday, but it doesn't intrigue me nearly as much. Also, Africa, you know, somewhere in the Sahara Desert. Ooh, that'd be cool. Desert life. I love desert rock formations. I think those are cool. Sand dunes would be cool to see. Yeah, I'm going to say, you know what? Just because I need to pick one place, I'm going to say Japan. I'd like to go to Japan. Do you know anyone named Susan? Fantastic question. Look at that. Easy. Do you know anyone named Susan? Do I know anyone named Susan? Yes, my aunt is named Susan. The first boss I ever had was named Susan. The third boss I had was named Susan. We called her Susie. I'm also a fan of the Suze. I like a nickname like Suze. That's fun. But yeah, I know a few Susans. Thank you for asking. Is it worth creating if no one sees it? Is it worth creating if no one sees it? Interesting question. Very interesting question. As a creator of things myself, and I have been for, at this point, a majority of my life, I have been someone who makes stuff, and I want people to see it. That's that validation thing I was talking about. But what I've come to learn as I get older, and I need validation less, which is a good thing, there's totally value in making something. There's totally value in doodling in a sketchbook. There's so much value in just the making of something, having an idea in your head and making it a reality. We as humans, we want to create. We're tool makers. We're game players. Creating things is playing with the reality. It's playing with the universe. It's making something up and making something real. Absolutely, there's so much value to making stuff if nobody sees it. Because in my opinion, that's what we're here to do, is to create. We are the universe and the universe wants to create. So as a patron of the universe, as a talking head of the universe, get out there and create. Take a picture, draw in a book, write a story, whatever you want to do, whatever that means for you, play with the mediums. Paint something terrible. It's worth it to paint something terrible because it's fun to play. It's fun to create. Fall in love with the things that you make. Fall in love with making them. Fall in love with the things you make, but fall in love with making them. A lot of times, and this is like an unfortunate reality of my brain, I will think of how to present something first and then reverse engineer the idea. That doesn't always lead to the best idea. So lately, I'm just trying to make stuff that makes me excited to make them. Something I've said, anybody who's collaborated with me in the past, there's a very specific feeling I get that I've expressed a few times, and I call it lightning bolt in the tip of my penis. That's the official name of this feeling, because that's the only way I can describe it. But it feels as if when you're in the flow of making something and you're enjoying making it, it feels like you're a faucet for expression from the universe itself, and that it is flowing through you. It feels like you're a radio accepting a message or downloading a message or downloading an idea. That's the feeling I fight for. And that I try to give myself as many opportunities as possible to feel that feeling. It feels like divine inspiration. Sometimes I get an idea and it's like a downloaded packet all in my head at once. I hear the whole song at once. In an instant, I know exactly how it sounds. Now, it takes a long time to create, to get better at making things so you can create the things you hear or see in your mind verbatim, but that's what practice is. And just practicing making anything gets you better at all of it. So if you have an idea, go for it. I believe in you. You're safe, you're beautiful, you're loved. The whole thing, right? Got time for a couple more. One more, and then I'll manifest, I guess. If you could write a letter to your younger self, what would it say? God, that's a great question. I didn't have the easiest childhood. I was picked on a lot. I was a bigger kid. I was picked on a lot. The only reason I developed any sense of humor or wit was because my dad literally told me, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, I was crying because I was getting picked on and people were saying mean things. And he said, Matt, if you can make a better joke quicker than them, they can't ever make fun of you anymore. Better joke quicker than them. And that like totally changed the track of my life. That I became obsessed with making people laugh, because if they're laughing, they're not making fun of you. For better or worse, I just became the class clown. I found out what makes people laugh. A lot of times it's just like surprising people with interesting or unique information that they didn't expect or didn't see coming. And so, what was the question? I'm off on a tangent. Oh, letter to my younger self. I would just tell him, I know you're going through a lot right now. Dear Matt, I know you're going through a lot right now. School sucks. You're smart. You're smarter than you think you are. People have been telling you you're smart, but you're not listening. If you applied yourself 5% more, you would be a B student. And that you will want that one day. But I would also let them know it all works out. You're going to get the things you want more than anything. All the work you're putting in, you're practicing your singing, putting on fake concerts in your bedroom for nobody, playing to your closet wall as if it's a crowd of adoring fans. All that is worth it. You're going to become electrifying. You're going to do the thing that everyone is telling you right now you can't do. And you're going to do it well. And you're going to do it long enough that you become sick of it. I also want you to know, Matt, that you should like yourself just a little bit more, because there's a lot of people that like you. Sorry, emotional. I'm a doughy emotional boy. If you can learn to like yourself sooner than later, you will have a better life. You will go further at the things that you want to do. P.S. Stop wearing the same red sweatshirt every day to school. It gets funky. And brush your teeth. You have braces, for God's sake. That's what I would write to my younger self. This has been a poem, I guess. Oh, crying on the podcast. Okay, last question. I appreciate you being here. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate you being here. I love Jar of Pain. Thank you for asking your questions at jarofpain.com. Thank you for sticking with me in this like weird experiment or I'm like figuring out what I'm doing with you. Oh, good. I thought I wasn't recording this whole time. I'm just like crying alone in my apartment, putting on a fake podcast. This is the last question. We'll manifest. Hey, little guy, you should love yourself more. Let's get a song. Let's get another question out of the jar. Without Ben, it's really not the same type of manifestation. Oh, God, we're getting to the end. You can ask a question at jarpain.com. How long would it take to eat a yoga mat? That's a fun question. I have one actually right here to my right. They're bigger than you think. They roll out long. And you can't do it burrito style. I think you have to do it long and slow. I also don't think that you can do it all in one day. I think you'd get sick because that stuff's just not coming. That's not digesting well. So I think you have to do very tiny pieces over the course of your life. And so for a standard yoga mat, I bet I could do it in 1 year. Yeah, a little bit every day. That's the only way to eat a yoga mat is one bite at a time. And I think I could do it in a year. I'm committing now. I'm starting now, immediately. All right, guys. I'm not going to do a weird sign off because Ben's not here. It's a little less energy, but that's okay. We're leaning into the calmness of this. So I love you. You're safe. You're beautiful. You're loved. Have a great rest of your week. I hope you've had a great weekend. Bye.